Try to put it up there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try this again. Folks, stand by for 1 second. Get a chance for people to wake up.
I gotta go finish filling my hot tub after this.
Oh,
I drained it yesterday.
today of all days is
Drained it yesterday.
all right.
I did my pool and left the hose
Oh no.
because I figure I'm gonna have to do it again.
Oh, I thought you meant you left it running.
No, left it right where it is.
Smart.
All right, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna mute this. All right, so okay. Okay, here we are, friends. This is a Sabres podcast. Yes, we are known as Bills, but we are going to do a Sabres only chat today. Friends I have here are Tim, who's off in the distance, my other cohort of the Bald and Beautiful, which is not the Bald and Beautiful today because we're outnumbered by guys with hair today. And then I've got Joe here, and welcome Ken, our first timers.
Hey, Jeff.
Welcome aboard, sir. Okay. Where to start? The Sabres made it through 2 rounds. Well, ended it the second round. Not complete 2 rounds, but a very, how would you call it, series? Very hard fought for sure.
Frustrating. Missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities. Why do you say that?
Because if you got about 80% of the goaltending you got from December through April, we're still playing.
So, okay, let's talk goaltending first. In the first series, Buffalo outscored the Bruins 20-12. In the second series, the Sabres outscored 27-23. And are we talking a 1 goal in 1 game, 1 goal difference, right? When we're moving on, correct? Overtime for sure.
Yeah.
Or the game where we were up 3-1, right? And we lost 6-3.
But even look at game 6 that you won. You let up 3 goals pretty early when you put yourself behind the 8 ball. And
But the game before that, we scored 3 goals pretty early and lost. So
no, I'm just saying when you look,
That was
but it's not even the games you lost where goaltending was an issue. There were games you won that goaltending was an issue.
yeah.
So then goaltending wasn't a problem if we won the games when goaltending was an issue.
But
it was the offense.
But you have firepower,
stuff.
and when you decide to play wide open, you can play wide open. Like I feel like we want to talk about goaltending first. I'm not going to hop into game 7 again. But
the muffin.
But at the end of the day, you need a goalie that are consistent, and we had it most of the regular season. You didn't see it. A couple of the Boston games, and
You did a
fair amount.
I think Lyon came in and gave you a couple of games that he did have your goalie that saved you and kept them in games. I'm trying to think more so in Boston series than
correct.
Well, let's just say it
And
and
the
then drop it
Canadians.
that Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen goal from center ice.
Oh,
I
and then-
definitely talk about that again. Yeah.
I think
Let's bury that.
when you look at Boston compared to Montreal has a lot of high end forwards that were top 10 picks. Montreal scoring's never been an issue.
Right.
Their issues been back end inconsistency deep. And I mean, even when you look at some of those goals, you force the guys to take the shots from where you want them to take a shot. It's not like you're giving away grade A opportunities left and right.
I'd say game 1 against the Canadians, you were. Lyon stood on his head. There were a few where they were dead center and taking shots on him.
Mm.
We won that game. So I would say that was one that he kept going with that. As the series moved along from games 2 through 7, I think goaltending became more of an issue of where I will agree with you. It's you get a little bit better goaltending out of either one of them. You can maybe steal that. I think there were issues across the entire team in the Montreal series, which were a little bit more frustrating. And I think there were just some issues of like I I know Lindy got credit for pushing buttons and doing some things, and he did do some things, but I would have gotten Helenus in the beginning of the series.
Mhm.
Metza would have been playing in the beginning of the series. I wouldn't have played. I understand the trades that they made at the trade deadline to get bigger to play against Tampa and a team like Boston.
Mm.
But when you're playing Montreal,
Yeah, you
they're
don't need to
not
be big.
Tampa or Boston. You could have gone there earlier, and I feel like that's where you got yourself into a game 7 where it came down to one shot. And even in a game 7, just hit the net.
Mhm.
Why do you think Mensa they waited so long to bring him in?
I think if you look back, and a lot of people miss this, they sent him back down to Rochester when they were trying to get Stanley, and Shen really didn't play anyways, but they were trying to get Stanley up to speed with playing with us. They brought him back in the last couple of games, and he struggled those last couple of games. So I think that was part of some of that kind of not having him in. And I don't think he should have played necessarily in the Boston series. That was a heavier team that is not his game. So Metza to me was always like, you're playing against Montreal, play the kid.
Let's address our first comment here from shout out Bruins fan 101. Not sure if that's Sean Viola or not, but we'll find out. Sabres need a bona fide starter. They cannot rotate in playoffs. Doesn't work like that.
I think it's a traditional. You can't rotate goalies, but I think you play if somebody's consistent, and you can go 4-3 in a series and win the series. So it's not like you have to win every game.
Right.
So I think the old school philosophy is you got to stick with one goalie, but if you have two goalies that we saw it during the season, you give one a mental break because being a goalie and being a goalie dad, there's a lot of mental pieces that go into being a goalie, and if you can give them a mental break, I think it makes a difference. And whether it was good in the playoffs to rotate them like we did in the regular season, I don't think so. And I think you're right. Whoever's hot, and when one cools off, as our tending happened to do, especially during Montreal, then you put the other one in. So I think old school theory is definitely one goalie, but we evolve, and
Yeah.
And I think that
if it works,
the one the one goalie through the playoffs, you have to have, in my opinion, at least a top end, if not elite goalie, to ride that long
Right.
because of what all the things you just said. When you're talking, I'm thinking back to Martin Brodeur, Patrick Roy, Dominic Hasek. You're not pulling those guys
No,
off, but they're the best
exactly.
of the best of the best. You know what I mean? So otherwise, yeah, we do. You need a solid goaltender, but when you get beat up bad 2 games in a row by Montreal, sometimes just swapping the goalie is what the team needs.
Mm.
It's not blaming the goalie necessarily. It's just giving them a boost, and I think that's what they did. And look what happened. I mean, we extended the series.
Sorry. Not that I want to go deep in this because we'll talk about it later with roster questions going forward. But was Colton Ellis available or is he hurt?
As far as I know, he was available, just inexperienced, so I doubt Lindy
Okay.
trusts him.
He was definitely available because in game 7, he was one of the options. Lindy said that
Oh, right.
one of the 3 goalies that could go.
Unrelated
Lindy bluff.
question.
Yeah.
Unrelated question. I'm going to shout out my friend Bob, who I used to work with. Bob down in Silver Creek, technically Sheridan, has a question that he asked me the other day that I don't remember the answer and I didn't want to Google it. Why are the Canadians nicknamed the Habs?
It's French, Le Habitant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And what does that mean?
And
We
the
live-
inhabitants of
yeah.
the Canada. I don't know.
So it's short for habitants.
Yeah, Le Habitant.
Because it's the habitants du Canada.
Okay, there you go, Bob. Hope you're watching and
Yeah.
found that useful. Okay. Do you think in round 1 or series 1 with the Bruins that the better team went on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Round 2, do you think the better team won?
I think that the team that stuck the most to their identity won the series.
Yeah, calling it a better team is a stretch only because I think they were matched well. And like you had said earlier that one of the Montreal problems is the back end, the defense falling apart, and that was we saw that over and over again. And then when they buckled down on that, they shut us down. So what I'm trying to say is I think there was a yin and yang. I think we were very even, and like,
Did it come down to Montreal's goaltender was better than our team?
well,
Yeah, I think
he stood on his head.
he was more consistent.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that.
No. Okay.
No.
Is it? Can we blame Top?
Well,
With some others.
Yeah, right.
yes,
He's
I
on
think
the list.
He's
Yeah.
on the list. I think that's their better players played better than our better players in that series.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, their top 6 were better than our top 6.
And if you look at it, there were some opportunities we lost because we got too cute with the puck.
Correct.
We tried an extra pass,
Right.
whereas Montreal tended to just fire it right at the net.
Mhm.
Do you think Thompson overstick handles and holds on to the puck too?
I personally think Thompson's hurt
Yeah.
because you haven't seen him try and load up for a one-timer in a while.
I said
He said he had a
lower back.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, after it was done.
So, I mean, I think you're going to see after this Carolina Montreal series, the Atlantic Division is just loaded. And I personally think you could take Buffalo, Montreal, throw in a blender, play this series 50 times, and you're probably going to come back 25-25.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I just think this is going to go down as the year of missed opportunities. I think when you ask,
Wait, this is the Sabres podcast, right? No,
no,
sorry.
I think when you ask why do you wait so long for Mets and Pelenas, I think they were too focused on that playoff experience. And I think in some ways that took them away from their identity. Yes, you needed the Stanley versus Boston because they had
Did
Chara.
not have Chara.
and but I almost feel like you thought you needed the vet presence for Montreal.
Did
And I feel
Zadorov,
like it took you out of your identity.
did Zadorov play like that when he was here for a short
He was younger, but
He
he
was
was
young.
still physical.
He took some stupid, yeah.
Right. He took stupid penalties.
I think you get away with Stanley in a series with Boston who isn't going to outskate you. So Stanley can skate. It became very apparent, and Stanley was hurt too. So I don't want to necessarily beat up on him. He was one of the ones that came out, said he was hurt, but he clearly wasn't one of their best skaters.
No.
Defensive best skaters. Anyways, if you would have played your best skaters against Montreal, I think Buffalo is the better team. And I do think if you do the blender, I still think Buffalo is maybe 55-45 coming out slightly better than them. If they're all playing and if they're all doing their stuff. I mean, in game 6, when they were running around them, even game 7, the tilt numbers, game 7 tilt numbers, which I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about with tilt numbers. So tilt numbers is a statistic of where you're playing in the ice. So when you're playing in Montreal zone, the ice is tilted towards Montreal. So game 7, Buffalo had the second best of all of the playoffs.
Other than Tampa Bay game 7 versus Montreal.
Yeah.
Like Montreal, like those 2 game 7s, Montreal got completely outplayed.
They beat Tampa Bay with 9 shots on goal that game.
Like I think those were the 2 worst. Those were the 2 most lopsided analytical games of the whole entire playoffs.
Yeah.
Like more lopsided than like game 6, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they won both.
So there's puck luck and bounces and stuff like that. You could see just some of that stuff, but you had when the Sabres actually played their game and their guys were going and we were putting pressure on it. I think you could see that Montreal was trying to do it. They just consistently did not do that. They went away. Game 2 to me was the game where they went around and they started chasing and trying to knock like Canadian players through a wall, like almost like playing like Tampa, like where they were going to try to beat them up and got themselves out of position. And Montreal capitalized and beat them in game 2.
5-1.
5-1. Game 3, they overcorrected and stopped hitting altogether to play into it. And I just felt like they were trying to find their identity for the first part, and that's the missed opportunity to me. If they came out and just played their game, I don't think it goes to 7. I think the Sabres win it in 6.
Correct. I think the one thing we learned this year is if the Sabres play their game, they can beat anybody. End of story. And I think the takeaway from this for everyone is don't matter if they're young or what they are. We just got to stick to our game. And if we play our game, No, people are gonna have a tough time beating us.
What do you guys think about the blind no look pass back into your D zone to try to gain speed to enter their zone? I'm not a fan.
The power play.
Yeah.
No, they do it all the time to try to get speed because everyone just like lines up on their blue line.
But it's not just a Buffalo thing.
I know. I
It's like
couldn't believe how many people
like-
do it.
I feel like that's the one area that needs a
Power play?
cover this offseason.
Is it a coach? Is it a coach problem?
I think they need to rethink their strategy because
Set that.
you drop it back to Thompson half the time. He's not your best skater. If you want to do that, you better give it to someone that has wheels.
Well, I think this is where some of the injury came in. Oslin for a while was on their top power play line, and he was the one entering and was good with the stick. And when they got better in the Boston series, he was playing. He went out again, and then they struggled to find that person again. I think they found their power play. I will say, coaching wise, in Game 6 and Game 7, it looked different than it did anywhere else in the playoffs. So their power play, they did make coaching changes to their credit and played a different power play. Part of your power play is just, it's hard. Like, Thompson is not a natural center. The way you want to set up your top 5 currently of what they want to do puts Thompson basically taking draws when you're putting Quinn on one side and playing, when they had Quinn out there for a while, Thompson ends up having to take draws at the end when they switch to Benson and Doan is your other two. It leaves Thompson as your guy. And when you get that first face off and they chuck the puck down and it's a minute 30 before you even start your power play,
Right.
I mean, it's so consistent when you're watching it. And Tage, there's just not a natural center. It's not his thing to win draws. Like I don't expect him to win draws, but the way that they set it up, it handcuffs them.
Agreed. But I mean, I know you said yes, they made adjustments. They found the power play, but your power play struggled the whole last 2-3 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah.
Why did we wait so long?
Well, you lost Oslin during the Boston regular season game.
So I don't know. I think
it didn't come back until Boston, and it kind of looked okay when he came back. They should have, yes.
Since we got to adapt.
I'm not sitting here like on an effort, like save effort. Like I trust me, I'm not a truther for that one. I'm not sitting on that one.
Oh, but Efford does more than just the power play. He's in charge of the D too, right? The D made measurable improvements this year. So
Effort is forward.
He's
Yeah,
forward.
yeah, I think so.
So
Marty Wolford's D.
Wolford.
So Appert. So Appert is kind of like Don Granado did. He's great with developing young guys. That's his background. But is he a true NHL level X and O guy?
You got to remember too. Didn't Kevin Adams appoint the staff for Lindy Ruff? Lindy Ruff was not going to pick his staff.
And Appert was highly involved with USA developmental hockey. Don Granado brought him to Buffalo. That was his background. I mean, we can say that some of the development of guys like Oslin and that can be pointed back to Appert. Like, he can't be faulted for that. But is he the right guy to manage the X's and O's in the NHL?
Well, that's a valid point. We brought Lindy in, and Lindy said, "Oh, I love my assistant coaches the way they are." It's like no head coach has ever said that to my knowledge in NHL history. You want to bring in your own people, but I'd be willing to bet that Uncle Terry said, "We're paying these guys. You're going to keep these guys as your assistant coaches."
Yeah,
Translation was
I have a different take on the Uncle Lindy thing.
Your biggest-
Uncle Terry.
Uncle Terry.
Your biggest issue was not going to get Pekka last year when he's available, putting him
Yeah.
on the bench.
Well, Jay McKee. I'd like Jay McKee as a coach, but I don't know if they go after him. He's
But
at
now we've digressed.
Brantford right now. But anyways, what's your thought on Lindy?
The Lindy was brought in to figure out what was going on. And I think a lot of people missed putting some tea leaves together. I truly think, and we talked about it on one of the Bills podcasts.
That's our other channel, folks.
The other channel. I believe when Kim got sick, Terry checked out of both franchises.
Understandable.
And as much as we said that he was in charge of the Sabres and got blamed for a bunch of Sabres stuff, I think it was 100% the opposite of that. And it was only until like Kim started like coming back to like her new normal and things calmed down, he brought in Lindy Ruff. And I do think he brought in Lindy Ruff because that was somebody that he could send in that he trusted prior to that to tell him what was actually going on because he was so disengaged.
So Lindy Ruff is the mole.
He was.
I don't know
But
about
you
the-
also-
Well, Mole,
you then, after the first year of Lindy Ruff, brought in Yarmo.
right. That was the key. That was it.
Brought in Yarmo, and it got reported after the fact that in order to bring in Yarmo, they actually extended Kevin Adams for another year for him to be okay with that. So he got paid an actual year that he didn't have to get paid. So they extended him for 2 years in the beginning of that season because they said they were going to do Yarmo and then got rid of him in December.
I'd be like, you're fucking Kevin Adams. Go get a job somewhere else. Good luck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But honestly,
Yarmo at the time, though, too, personally, took the job right after his father passed away.
No, and Yarmo.
So there is
great
like
with
there are so
Yeah.
yeah, but there was some I think Kevin Adams would have been shown the door at the beginning of the season.
If it wasn't for Yarmo's personal.
Yarmo, I don't think was able to take the job
Gotcha.
fully because personally he was
Gotcha.
dealing with his father. Like to me, it's what makes the most sense when you're looking at it.
yeah, and Yarmo could have also been the, hey, we really, really like this guy. We think we may need to make a change in the next year. So let's get him in here now.
Mhm.
And I mean, and then even Yarmo, he brought in other,
Mhm.
bring in Bergevin.
Yeah,
or-
Mark Berg,
Mm.
Chicago,
but
and the guy.
Yeah, I
Columbus,
mean-
salary cap guy.
But I mean, at this point, I mean, season was a success, and it's really a matter of how do we build off it.
Yeah, and let's not be lost on the fact that well, first of all, let's not be lost on the fact that we're sitting here doing a Sabres podcast because
End of May.
yeah, if we would have been, if I said to you in September, Kyle, let's start a Sabres one, we're going to need it this year, you would have laughed me out of this house. You know what I mean?
December 9th, they were last place.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted us to win. I want us to keep going, of course, all that kind of stuff. But it was pretty freaking good, man. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, this is going to be an unpopular opinion.
Corey said a lot of Sabres talk this year.
I'm actually more optimistic about the Sabres.
Than
The Bills.
Or just in general? What are we talking?
Just in general. I think when you look at the age of the roster, the talent of the roster, the guys coming up, I think
I'm more excited about this offseason than the Bills offseason.
Look, and even coaching
Correct.
too, right? I mean, you trust Lindy Ruff. Do you trust Joe Brady? You know, so sorry, not
No,
not that we're
that's
going
fine.
to divert it to the Bills, but I'm saying just in terms of trusting the coach, trusting the process.
Right, that's right.
you've got a vet presence.
Mhm.
They on the bench.
Do you think Lenny Ruff will change anyone on his staff?
I hope he does. And that would at least tell me, to your point of if Lindy was brought in to kind of evaluate things, he can't be happy with the assistant coaches that he inherited. Right? Maybe you keep the majority as
I would say
or add a Thomas Vanek to run your power play or something. I don't know.
I would say that one way, but he also, when he was nominated for Coach of the Year, gave praise to his assistant.
Doesn't he have to?
Yeah, there's got.
I don't necessarily say you have to.
No,
I think he went out of his way to say, "Hey, this is more of a team award." I think he feels comfortable. In Lindy's in the comment for me in all of the press conferences, the exit comments was Yarmo kind of threw Lindy under. He said he's an old guy just like I am. They're both older people, and this is arguably, does anybody see Lindy Ruff coaching anywhere outside of Buffalo when he's done?
Right.
He had fun this year.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll
But
retire.
it's one of those things where you're having fun and you want to keep doing it. Fine, I'll do it for another 2 years.
Right.
Right.
And his family never left here. They
Right.
still live in Spalding Lake. Yeah, they're still up
his,
there.
and his daughter just moved back here.
Yeah. So.
His son,
You got tabs on his daughter?
well, his son was in the, I think, the marketing department. Anyways, when they hired him back as coach.
Yeah.
So I think if they make any moves with the coaching staff, It's the mindset of here's someone we think that has potential to
Take over.
take
in
the
2 years.
keys from Lindy when Lindy decides to hang it up.
Okay, so if the current staff stayed the same in 2 years, who would it be?
I don't think there is one.
Okay, that's
So to your point, I could see, yes, if you're looking, and
I think
I guess for me, it's get through an off season with Yarmo. It's his first off season where he's actually in
Yeah.
there.
Mike. I gotta replace that tripod that Sean fucking broke because he's drunk that night.
Well, listen, you're
No, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job.
No.
I'm just saying that's annoying.
you're gonna laugh at me. You want to know what I just did while I sat here? I bought a $10 tabletop Lazy Susan. I'm not kidding. I'm just gonna sit here and go back and
Oh,
forth.
that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Where were we? Who'd you say you would like to see? Where were you at?
I could be on board of find the next head coach and bring him in.
And quite frankly, it doesn't even need a. I mean, I don't think there's a limit on what you can have on your bench. So
Coach wise, yeah,
Coach-wise.
yeah.
I mean, but I think
Number-
I think
number
that's the big piece right now. If you're going to install the system, and obviously this system works for these players when they stick to their system, you got to make sure that you're going to have someone that, if Lindy decides to hang it up after a year,
Mhm.
and this team's so built this way and go in this direction, you're not going to want to have someone come in and try and change the system. And I feel like that's the issue we've run into the last several coaches. So you bring in a coach that then tries to model, fit the roster into their system, rather than
Like soccer.
I was just gonna bring him up. Maybe we could.
Soccer.
Second.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
off season.
Well, let's talk about what we could do in the off season here. Should we play a little?
Let's talk about Alex Tuck.
Let's.
Oh, you want to get into him before we go into roster fantasy GM play?
Yeah, because I feel like the Alex Tuck decision impacts what you can do as fantasy GM.
Certainly.
Perfect. Let's
Like,
talk
that's-
and then go.
Like he's honestly he is. Well, honestly, this roster's got 3 questions. You got 3 guys you can lock up this year long term: Tuck, Benson,
Donor.
Bull Byram.
Byron.
Oh,
yeah,
Byron.
Byron. Yeah.
You can
Because Donor we just locked up,
you,
didn't
you
we?
can you
Yes,
can
sorry.
probably afford to.
Yeah.
Who's the odd man out?
Uka Pekka
It's not Benson anymore.
No, it's definitely not Ben.
No, I would expect Benson gets similar to your donor contract.
Well, I just read that Friedman reported that we're already in negotiations with Byram and Benson.
Which means
I mean, because Byram
Tuck
Byram
would be
can't. Well, Byram's can't sign till after July 1.
Right, but you can start talking now because you have the rights.
So my personal opinion is, I think if he can come to numbers
Mhm.
with Benson and
Okay, so back to Tuck. What is he?
Tuck.
What is he worth on the open market, and what should the Sabres
Way more
offer?
than what he's worth on the Buffalo Sabres.
1,000% agree. 1,000% agree.
11?
No, he'll probably get 12 to 13.
well,
Some team will overpay him.
but I think the issue isn't the
I don't think
money,
it's overpay. If you look, he's the number 1
two-way player.
free agent.
He's
There's no one else on the
He's one
market
of the
either.
best.
It's like there's a huge gap between Alex Tuck going out and everybody else that's a free agent.
Well, you have a lot of.
He's going to be on a shitty team though.
You have a.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
He's gonna end up in Toronto. You watch.
Or Vancouver.
So shitty team.
To me, the issues. But to me, the issue's never been, can you pay Tuck 10.5 million? To me, the issue's always been the term.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to lock up Alex Tuck for more than 4 years.
Right.
Everyone's
At a
like
rate like
13,
that.
that's 8.
He's going to get it somewhere.
Because my problem is I don't want to end up with another Jeff Skinner contract or one of those where then after
Billy Lano.
years,
Remember the
you're
Billy Lano?
crap, I gotta buy this out and figure out what to do.
Christian Ehrhoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my issue isn't, is he worth the money?
Hmm.
My issue is, how long is he worth the money for?
Yeah.
How old is he?
30.
He's 30. And so I mean,
So if you're
on the open,
paying him 12
so-
million, that's 38.
so think of it this way: if he
Put
wants,
Tom Brady.
if he wants
Could be.
10 at 8.5 here, that's gonna be 12 million somewhere else
Yeah.
because they can only go 7 years. Somewhere.
Correct. The 8
So-
thing because we can give him an extra year.
So,
Right.
so to me, the issue isn't, is he worth 10, 11 million right now?
Unless there's a trade
To
inside
me, the
before July.
issue is the term.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of in the no boat.
I don't want him for 7, 8 years. No way.
I want him for 3, 4.
Well, and we saw a little bit of what our younger
It-
kids can do. Not granted, it was a small sample size, but
Yeah.
And
the
quite
values and Ostins and
Ostins.
He's not the thing.
Yeah.
Don't is the replacement for Tuck.
Agreed. Yeah, I
And
can
they-
I can go with that.
I think Coates is your answer to kick Thompson back out to the wing.
Yes. Yep. Agreed.
Well, you also have Cooley coming out
Mhm.
Yeah.
with
And then-
He's
no blood clots.
And then that's the other question. Then what happens with Josh Norris?
Yeah.
I see he stays. I mean, they could try to push him if you're getting a bigger asset for it. Outside of the first couple games where he was concussed in Boston, I'm pretty sure, I think we can all say that, going into the boards head first, pretty sure he played through concussion. I didn't mind his series in Montreal, and to be honest with you, I know Benson and Doan got a lot of the praise and scored a lot of the points, but there was a lot of stuff in the back end that he did to drive those two on that line. That was by far their most consistent line
Yeah.
of the playoffs.
He's great when he's healthy.
He signed. It's an 8-year deal, making about $8 million per through 29-30. So
Who's this?
Norris, Josh
And-
Norris.
and-
So we still have several more years on his
but
contract.
to me, that's why he could potentially be expendable.
Could be, but you got to find somebody to take him.
Correct. But at some point, you got to figure out ways. How do you get Kulik, Oslin, Polanus all into the lineup?
I mentioned.
You get rid of Jordan Green.
Well, yes.
Hold on.
But that puts one of them on. That's not happening.
Okay, time out.
I-
Kyle's been trying
So-
to.
So I said you get rid of UPL, and you said no to UPL.
I-
got
You need
I
to,
think you need a
No.
taker.
Devin Levi.
no, you're gonna.
He's gone.
Levi's gone.
Mhm.
He'll be in Ottawa.
He's either gone or he's gonna stay in Rochester, which I think he's gonna push.
No, he has to clear away. He's
Yeah.
out of waiver eligibility.
So
Him and Ellis are both out of waiver eligibility.
Well, okay. So did we do? Okay, let's do UPL, and then we'll talk about Levi.
So for me, the UPL and the goalie in general is yes, could you upgrade, but who are you going to get? There A is no one just freely that are better than the two that you have. They're basically you're just picking the same thing.
With Ellis.
With all three of them. So essentially any of the free agent goaltending right now is on par with he's a guy just like our three guys.
Would you say okay?
You really
but-
only have like what 8 maybe goaltenders that are number one in the NHL, and then everybody else is basically the same as our 2 or 3
so rank our goaltenders.
of
The three that we have in the order.
Yeah, like
Of-
like you 1A, 1B, 1C, or 1A, 2, 3. Like what would you? How would you rank them?
Well, which game are we ranking?
Just
Because they're so inconsistent.
I think the top. Well, no, I think UPL ceiling is higher than anybody else's. His floor is lower than others.
so he's either really good or really not.
this doesn't.
Yes, and I think you see that. Like you saw that this playoffs, right?
Yeah.
When he was on and he had his games, he made some unbelievable stops. And I know the one went in from center ice, and we all say that was terrible. But actually, the first goal of that game on the partial breakaway, I didn't like. I was fine with the other one. It's a bounce and whatever.
Yeah, just a bad
The
goal.
first one that he let in, you shouldn't let in.
Mhm.
Essentially, he bit to go to the outside to cover that when Samuelson's on a guy, and there's no way when your defenseman's on the guy that the guy's going to beat you to the far post. So you can't leave your legs open for a one-handed shot in between your
Backhand
legs.
too, right?
Right,
In the-
backhanded, just kind of push puck through
Yeah.
when you know the guy's not going to beat you to the back post.
What are your thoughts on the series winning goal? The Montreal series winning goal.
I mean, it's a duck goal that just goes by you. Like that stuff happens. Like
Do you blame Darlene for that shit play because he had 2 hands on his stick instead of having 1 hand on his stick and playing big?
which no,
That's
if you want to say where I blame Darlene, and I go back and forth with it, I would have liked Darlene instead of playing the puck to Thompson in their end to just cycle it down low and just go get the puck again. Take the safe play there. I was of the mindset that Montreal in game 7 was shot. They had no legs basically from second, third period, and even into overtime. And as long as that game kept going, you were eventually going to get an opportunity because Montreal was done a game ago. right? You play, you basically don't give them any opportunities. You're going to keep getting your opportunities. You're eventually going to score one. That was where I was. The longer that it went into overtime, the more that I think it helped us. That's why you saw that first little burst out of Montreal in the beginning of overtime, because they were trying to end it right away while they had their legs kind of from that break, but basically they were shot. Buffalo's skating all over them. That's why the tilt numbers are the way that they are.
Okay, so that was a muffin goal. Little screen knuckle puck kind of floating, kind of.
I mean, it definitely dove down. It's one of those knuckle pucks that I don't necessarily say it's just a cupcake easy get. It's one that you would like a goalie to have.
Okay, so back to my original question. Take money out. Rank your goalies.
I think they're one and one A or B. I don't care which. On any given day, the top two are the top two, and then there's a break between when you get to Colton Chaos.
So you don't like Colton Ellis?
I don't think he's in the same league as the top two that you have.
Because I think his numbers are decent
I like
for
He's
the AHL, right? Which I know is not the NHL, but it's like a 93% save average, 264.
I just think the top two are ahead of him.
So I think this is where you run into your paradigm shift. If we rewind 2 years ago, I'm like, give Ellis a bunch of games and let's see what he has, right? Because
Right.
he probably has a higher ceiling than those two guys you got right now, but his flow is way lower, just because he's uber aggressive. I think big picture, he could end up being the best of the three, but now that you have a team that can win,
Yeah, do you gamble?
how big of a gamble can you take on it?
So, but if you want Tuck and Benson and Byram, is UPL you got to get rid of him, right?
So
yeah, but you're getting rid of him to clear money, right? In your head.
Yep.
To go with what, 2 goaltenders, and you're bringing up Levi as your third?
No.
Well, is that bridge burned? Is that done? Like, is there no way, or is he good enough? How was his season in the AHL?
Not great.
So he's not amazing.
He's a smaller goaltender.
Yes, yeah.
He's gonna struggle. Like, he's just a smaller goaltender. You asked what the difference between the goaltenders is. UPL's a bigger goaltender, so there's stuff that's just gonna hit him.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the big size, big goalie. He's your typical. He's your Bernard, or not. He's your what? He's Edmonds, that big linebacker that we trailed with all of the traits.
Tremaine? Yeah.
Tremaine, right? He was all of your traits guy, right? He has that stuff to him, but he doesn't have that next X factor to him to be a number top 8. Now, for the second half of the season, he played more consistent, like he was the top 8 guy, right? I mean, if you look at his stats, the two of them both did. I think you just run it back with the 2 goaltenders, because I don't know what you're going to get differently unless you're making a huge change.
I'm going to give you an unpopular take here.
Let's hear it, Tim. Finally.
Go for it.
I want Bobrovsky for the next 2 years.
Oof.
Well, Bob,
How the hell you gonna get him in?
He's a free
he's a
agent.
free agent. He is your
And
How bad is he?
he has a connection with Yarmo
Yeah.
from Columbus.
from Columbus.
But if you want to be like, okay, we're just going to go all in the next 2 years. Lindy's got 2 years left before he retires.
Heard this song and dance before.
I'm going after Bob. And quite frankly, at that point, if I go after Bob, then I want Lyon as a vet, and I'm fine with Ellis as my third guy.
So was Florida struggling because Bob took a dive this year, or because the whole team took a dive this year?
I think that
This is
Like,
great.
this is the cliff one,
Well,
right?
this is
So obviously, right?
This
This was the first year Bob had a bad year, right?
you had no Barkov, and quite frankly, all their money spent on forwards. They're be slow. I think if you put Bob with RD in front of him,
But Bob's also 38 in September.
2 years. Let it roll.
Played a 40.
What other goalies? Hey,
When did Brodeur go to?
what other goalies have played in the NHL?
Brodeur, Fleury. I mean, Fleury. How old was Fleury when he won his last cup in Vegas?
Didn't he just stop playing last season? Or was it this season?
No, I think it was this year.
This year.
Yeah, he played some this year.
So I mean, take a swing.
Ken, you want a permanent job as fact checker?
It's
This is great.
it's not
So Jonathan Quick turned 40, so he was the most recent 40
Like
year old.
I don't
But he
know.
retired.
I mean, if you think Lyon can be a guy that you can split a season with, and he's got a cheap contract, what if Bob only has to play 40 games instead of having to play 50, and you say keep him fresh for the playoffs?
But-
Let it roll.
For Penny and Run.
I don't know if he could play 40.
He played what 60 this year.
Yeah, but the age thing is big with me. And even from a Lion and UPL standpoint, UPL's 27,
Well, I mean,
Lion's 33. UPL is still a relatively young goalie.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, UPL is Allmark. That's his ceiling.
Right.
Like,
I would agree with that.
what
but
do you want to do? Are you happy making the playoffs, or do you want to win a cup? I don't think you're winning a cup with UPL. End of story.
I don't
This is the
disagree.
same
This isn't
as their head coach.
no, this isn't
Yeah,
as bad
so
to take
that's-
as you thought it was. It's definitely an idea, and it's
It-
a whatever. Like if you
It-
truly don't think UPL is going to make the next step, right? Which
Uh,
he's for 3 years now, one way or another, showing you like glimpse of
Glimpses.
he was going to take the step and then took the step back.
right, consistency's
Like the consistency of it is, and if you've seen enough of that, there is something to be said. Like go get Bob, go play Lion, go play Colton Ellis, play Bob 25 games. I do the Vegas model and sit him on the friggin' bench for the entire year for all I care,
Hmm.
and break him out for the playoffs. Right?
He's in
I
the
mean,
Richard
it's
C.
how-
Ray class.
yeah, like you
mean-
have an e-bug. They talked about they specifically, both the coach and the GM talked about 3 goalies
You
next
have to have an e-bug next year.
What
Right.
is that?
Right.
But
Emergency backup goalie.
you have
Oh.
you have to carry you either have to carry, but I think and here's why I land on Bob. Your other one that's you got one other guy that's out there that's available via trade, Hellenbeck. But did you see what they're projecting the cost to him would be?
No, you have to
The
get
cost to him will be astronomical.
Right. You're talking Tuck. You're talking the
They-
10, 12,
No, they
18. Like you're talking, yes. You're talking, you're definitely not getting Tuck, and you might not get
you-
another guy.
did you hear the Merrick Friedman podcast on what they projected the Sabres have to give up for Hellenbeck?
You listen to other podcasts?
Yes.
There are other
They
podcasts.
were projecting it would cost probably something similar to Owen Powers.
For who?
And that's
To get
enough
them to get off the goalie
to get the guy from
in their return.
Winnipeg.
Wait, go start over?
They were projecting that if the Sabres wanted to go after, is it Hellenbeck or however you pronounce it,
Oh,
that it would probably cost the Sabres Owen Power in a trade. And that's a no-go for me. Because quite frankly, he was your bestie in the playoffs.
Whoa.
whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Kyle, I knew. I stopped and I looked. When you got to Power, I just looked at Kyle because I knew what text message came about 3 weeks ago. Kyle, I think, would give you Owen Power and a bag of pucks.
So Owen
It's not an empty bag.
For an empty bag of pucks.
Power's been this is what, year 5?
4, 5. He's still.
Well, I don't
Oh.
well it's year 5, but it's really year 4 because he
Real
played
four,
like
yeah.
8 games. It took Darlene probably 6-7 years before.
I will
Something
say
goes
that
down.
Owen Power looked way better this year. His best season yet.
Correct.
I just want him to cross check somebody in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I know. I just need a
So-
little more toughness out of him.
Yeah,
So at the end of the
I
day,
don't.
Not a fighter.
I don't, because the toughness thing is why you have Greenway, and what does Greenway look like? when
Yes.
it's out
Let's
there?
get to the okay.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
okay.
How much is Bobrovsky going to cost?
I don't think crazy at
I don't know.
38. I think it's doable. I would think
I-
that you could do it for if you moved on from UPL and you got rid of UPL's 5 or 6 million.
Yeah,
you
how
could
much
just
is UPL?
straight bring in
Yes,
Bob for 5 or 6.
I think it depends on
4.7.
if you want to try and get him for 1 or 2 years, he may cost you a little more. He may cost you in the
Yeah, but
6,
it's not.
7 range. Because I think he's going to weigh the cost of term versus money. He's coming off a 7-year, $70 million contract right now.
He's got money. He's also.
So he's got
He'll
money.
do it for free.
And a ring.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Two.
I mean,
Two, yeah.
if you're Bob, you're probably looking, okay, where do I think I could go make
Yeah.
the difference and get a team to the cup?
But Bob's with palm trees currently, right?
And no palm trees.
I mean,
See,
Bob's
well,
with
yeah.
palm trees on his jersey.
We'll see how good it is with Yarmo. But I think if you're looking at goalie upgrades, that's the one you could do without.
Is UPL like Robin Lehner? Are they similar?
Robin Lehner was always hurt though, so it's kind of
Yeah.
tough to
Like
compare.
he had some amazing saves, and then he. bleh.
You need consistency.
Well, and another problem, and this is not a knock in any way at Laner or what I'm about to talk about, but in a goaltending situation, especially being the father of a goalie, you would know it's a mental game too.
Yeah,
It's a huge
100%.
mental game. And Laner had a lot of emotional issues. He was in and out of not rehabs, but you know what I mean. So that's something you can't really judge him because when he was great, but
Yeah.
when he wasn't, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
a lot of other challenges
Yeah.
besides hockey.
Yeah,
Really.
exactly.
I think goalie in the NHL and probably across most sports when you get really competitive is it's a mental back and forth. So you put up, if you look, a lot of the goalies have a good year, then a not so good year, then a good year. And I think a lot of it comes down to scouting. You have a good year, teams scout you, figure out where your weaknesses are, exploit those for a year, and you got to spend a year trying to like fix that,
Right.
right? To get back to it. So that's why like you get back to it. You saw like even in the Montreal series, like for UPL, they went in between his legs when he was dropping down on the side. Caulfield scored the goal on it. Like that was a spot that they were specifically scouted to go on him, and
And I
scored
think
2 goals on it.
And I think forwards now are way better than they used to be.
Right.
Do we have to have 3 goalies?
No.
You have to have next year.
You need
It's called emergency backup goalie.
No more Zamboni drivers.
E-bucks.
Yeah.
Well, it actually is kind of a
Why do you have to?
Zamboni.
Is it?
So
Yes.
Counting out on the ice.
Yes.
Yeah. So they want another one so that they just don't forfeit a game. You don't get into a situation where you have to forfeit a game because of a goalie. The problem is if you use it as far as what I've seen so far, if you have a just 2 goalie system and you have your e-bug goalie, your e-bug goalie can have not played NHL hockey
They've
before.
played like less than 20 games or something like that.
So you
Could.
yes.
You
But hang on a minute.
Well, the Zamboni driver comes from the Carolina won a game in Toronto.
Toronto, right.
Toronto Zamboni.
That's
driver.
Right.
I was at the game that we traded Ryan Miller and number 9 right before the game, and we had a backup goalie on the bench. The guy was sitting in an office somewhere in the building, and they put him in there. And then, of course, there's Robert Foster. That's the infamous one in Chicago where he
Rob Foster.
he went in and won the game. So
I didn't know he did.
but that's what I was going to ask you though. There's always an emergency goalie somewhere in the building.
But the emergency goalie has always been associated with the home team.
They have to stay with them.
This is each team has to have one
on the staff with them in the city they're in.
Yes,
correct.
Yeah, I want that.
He does not. He does not.
No.
He's a roster player, but he can't. He's had to play like less than 20 games or something like that.
And I think they haven't really got. No one's told me that if you had 3 goalies, you need. I think it qualifies as
you either have to have 3 goalies on your active roster, or you have the e-bug.
And Kyle, in your defense, I've played hockey my whole life. My father was my coach. My father played hockey. Everything. I've never heard of an e-bug until today. So I've never heard it referred to as an e-bug.
You never heard about it until that guy came in a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Ayers or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew of the emergency the goalie. They go sign the $1 thing or whatever, but I've never heard of it.
And next year is the first year where they change the rule.
And you have to have it with you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so before we go into fantasy GM play, everyone cool with Lindy getting extended 2 years? Do you actually think he'll coach for 2 years, or do you think he'll move to a president of ops type of thing? Do we have one of those yet? I don't think so.
I think he's good for at least one more.
I think he's good. I don't think he's going to move into the front office.
No, I think when he's done,
he's done.
He's done.
He's got to be up.
I think the
Back
rumors
check
that him moving into the
66,
front office were always wrong.
No. Do you see Seth Appert taken from him, or will they get fresh meat from
66.
outside?
Well, I think that goes back to the question: if there's a change on the coaching staff, it's.
Do you want me to cry or?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't know.
Fresh meat.
Well, the guy in Rochester, head coach for Rochester, Mike Leone, I believe, he's had some looks from the NHL as an assistant coach. So I don't know if if they would bring him up again. It's a typical Terry move to bring somebody in
That's
from
not for
the internal. Well, not necessarily for
like Becca. Let him leave the organization.
Right.
He wasn't with the organization. He was a Rangers coach.
Well, but he did initially. Yeah, he was with
Now he's in
Rochester.
Chicago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I just think it would be important. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to mention a name. I want a grade of regular season and then a grade for playoffs.
Playoffs.
Which button's that?
There you go.
First try. All right. Okay, first name that I have written down. It seems like we're going all over the Zucker.
I tell you what, I was impressed with Zucker only because I think he was sent here to die. I think he was sent here to end his career and be done, and he's done everything but that,
Okay.
So
how regular season versus playoffs?
consistent. You want a number? You want
No. Just like,
I don't
let
think
down, overachieved.
I don't think he ever performed at such a high level that his low performance is that devastating. I think he was pretty, consistent with the little ups and downs, but pretty consistent all the way through both, I think.
So will he be back?
Is he a free agent?
No, he's got one more year left, but I almost feel like he was brought in to have that veteran presence.
Well, it's like that. That's why they brought in.
He's got a $5 million next year.
Stay or go?
For me, I think he lost his legs in the playoffs. He was like looked tired, beaten up. Especially in the beginning of the Montreal series, he was one of the ones that I would say wasn't there, like more so than a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you went into the Montreal series and it was supposed to be your depth was supposed to outshine them, and he got run over. He wasn't the only one, so I'm not sitting there saying blaming all of him. The regular season, I think he did a great job. Like he was that consistent force. You can't just get rid of all of your veterans and play all these young kids. So I think he's still on the team next year.
Okay.
And he might be your in and out guy, maybe with you know what I mean? Like
that's valid.
Use him like a little bit more back and forth.
Or he's the guy where you need to do a little load management during the regular season.
Right. That's what I was trying to get to. It's load management. Yeah.
He can still contribute at 10 to 12 minutes a game.
I'm
just not sure he's the guy that you can throw out there for 15, 17 minutes. And if you notice, when he got better in the playoffs was when he came off the power play.
Yeah.
To your point, Tim, about a 4-year contract for Tuck, Zucker's 34. So
correct.
As he's slowing down, that's why you don't want to sign Tuck for 8 years.
So I think he should be back, but I think you got to think about maybe what is his role.
Okay.
I think he gives you flexibility for the young kids. If everybody's worried about where you're playing your young kids, Zucker is a spot where you could load manage him. Somebody's hurt. He's one of those guys that I think is a consistent guy that you can plug and play and really don't lose.
And I think you can put him pretty much on any line in the lineup.
Correct.
And it sounds like he's obviously good for the locker room too. So
yeah,
and getting back to the mental aspect.
Okay, so is that your?
He stays.
Hey, I like.
Okay,
I keep him. He signed for one more. He signed for one more year. So
okay,
he signed 3.
I also liked him during the regular season, and like I agree with what most of you said, how he got trucked a little bit or
except
run.
Mike's an idiot. Yeah.
No. No, I like
he had games where he was good.
Yeah,
like he had glimpses where he came back and he was playing great in the power. If you were looking consistently between the regular season and playoffs, he kind of.
My argument was he never really had any high peaks or low valleys. It was kind of,
Yeah, but it was a little bit lower in the playoffs than what he was. And yeah, you never know how banged up.
All right, so we're going to stick with the Zeniths. I think a hometown favorite now, Zach Benson.
Yeah.
That kid is awesome.
Yeah. Game I was at.
If I was to buy a Sabres jersey, it might be him.
Him or Doan. I think you're probably the two most popular ones right now.
Right ER after it. Donor. You got a donor?
Raging
donor.
Oh,
I think the kid got better as the year went on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people miss the fact that he had over 100 points in juniors multiple years.
He's
like, I get that they made the rat thing for him and all of that, but
classification.
But for me, he had over 100, and he proved that in the NHL. That has come right along with him.
He plays hockey the right way.
He's our Brad Marchand.
Yeah. That's like, I was looking to see if he was still on there, and I was going to say he's Brad Marchand.
Is he as much of a rat as Marchand?
Oh my God, he's never stops talking. He's always getting in guys' heads. Yeah, that's what we want.
I don't think he'll kiss somebody like Marshall, but you know.
I think that
It was
the
lit.
NHL
And he just gets
Like somebody.
yeah,
I mean, anybody see the T-shirt
Oh,
that Byron wore
yeah.
to his end
What
of the
white
season
trash?
with a picture of Benson?
I mean, he,
they
the dude. This is he finished his third year and he just turned 21.
Yep.
Oh,
He didn't go to the AHL or anything. He literally went straight to the NHL.
well, he forced his
He-
hand, like they couldn't bring him down. I guarantee the Sabres did not want him on that roster.
Well, remember we all talked to her like, man, this kid's coming in like
he's like Scrappy Doo, man. Like he can score. He's not afraid to mix it up. Like
I didn't like when he was trying to become all rat and not hockey player, and then it like took away from his skills. And I think and then he came back to be a hockey player, and he started.
like
Yeah, but I think a lot of that depended on they
Who
put
they
him
played.
on the fourth line. Like
Oh.
you're not gonna have, he's not gonna set up, your other two like
Yeah.
Malenstein. Yes, can go and do all that stuff. They're just not gonna have as many goals as he is when he's setting up, Tage or
Okay.
somebody else.
honestly, that line with him and Doan was just like a keep it simple line. They dug in
Yeah.
the corners. They threw the puck to the front of the net. They threw the puck on net. Like that's all it was. Was they didn't overcomplicate it.
All right, so we're hoping he's a Sabre for life.
The legend of
Oh my
Zach
God,
Benson.
Oh,
Benson and Doan 5 years from now should be your two.
you're
Okay.
building around them.
and Benson will be 26 in 5 years.
Next,
He could be your kid, Ken.
Yeah. Good. He's younger than
yeah.
60% of my kids.
Next name, Sam Carrick.
He's under contract, and I'm fine keeping him that way for next year.
Just be healthy.
He served the role when he was healthy.
You know, I'm gonna put some asterisks next to this. So far we're saying Zucker should be back. You want him back or not?
He should be back, but not.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm gonna put Marks, and we're all good for Benson, and we all want Carrick back.
I think Carrot fits that perfect fourth line center.
Yes.
And he's got a good high level.
I think he's one of your answers if you don't get talk for who's going to penalty kill.
And Benny.
Anything else on him? Next.
Nope.
It's unfortunate he got hurt in the playoffs, so let's see what he could have done.
Carrick's making $3 million a year, signed through the end of the 26-27 season.
he's
so.
here.
So we got
That's one more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He's your replacement for.
Here's a name that I took off that I don't remember seeing him play a whole lot, so I don't know why I wrote him down. Danforth. Yeah. I left Dunn off this list also.
No.
Well, that guy, I can't believe he started. Oh God, I'm glad he did get
Yeah.
rid of him. What did he play? 3 games, 2 games, and they finally got rid of him?
No.
Well, but
God.
He
You
played
got anything on that guy?
Dunn or Danforth.
Danforth.
No.
Okay, X gone. See ya. Josh Donor, I think we got enough. We already said that's got it.
He's
It'd
extended.
be
He's not
hard
going
to
anywhere.
extend him
Him
for
and-
that much money and then get rid of him.
Yeah, he's not going there.
You're lucky you.
We love you. You're
You're
gone.
lucky you're lucky you extended him before the playoff.
Yeah.
Oh, which will come around when we talk to
If anything, they're talking about his dad potentially joining. The
Right, because
Flames
he
here.
left Toronto.
Because of Toronto.
Did he leave or he was pushed out?
Oh no, he left.
He left.
Preemptively.
Yeah.
God, what a shit show up there, huh?
In Toronto hired his GM from Arizona.
That's when he left.
When
he
he's-
got
he's
word
like,
that was
"Start
happening.
percolating,"
And
he's like,
"Oh, I'm out."
Yeah.
Next name, I'm kind of torn on this guy, Jordan Greenway.
You're torn
Well,
of the moon, or where would you like to fire him?
Of how
How far?
thing is that? What
I okay, so he has all the tangibles, correct?
No,
No,
No, he's done.
big, fast.
no, he's not
What he
fast.
does-
He's
he doesn't-
slow as hell.
Listen, he was an absolutely perfect part of this roster when we didn't give a shit.
All right, okay, all right. He doesn't play his size.
So here's
No,
Okay, I'm giving.
and not only on the Sabres, every team that he came from.
Yeah.
So you never liked him.
No,
Okay,
I like him the one game that he plays every month.
when he scores. One
No,
goal.
he plays one game where he uses his size, where he realizes I might not be in the NHL anymore, so I better play. And he actually plays the game that he potentially could play
What game was that where he had like 7 hits and scored the goal? Which game?
Well, it was
that
game
Boston?
one.
Or
It was game one Montreal. They made him the spotlight of that game.
All right, so
Which is why I was fine with him for the rest of the playoffs. I'm like, okay, he's good because
Yeah.
that was his one game.
He's done his part.
he fooled you.
So,
Okay, so you want him gone?
Yeah.
I guess I need to know what happens with Beck Malenstein.
Well, he's coming up, so don't jump the boat, okay?
I'm still
I got a list here.
even if you lose Malenstein, I'm still you move on from Greenway.
Right.
I've had enough of it. It was
Come on.
Greenway to me was the ultimate Greenway play. He was penalty killing and we gave up a goal game 5 where he was at the top and he checks the guy that he's supposed to be responsible for penalty killing off to Samuelson who's in front of the net. So he's going and he's like, oh no, I'm gonna play in between these two guys. And Malenstein's already over there. And he wants to move to Malensteinstein, which means that the next guy up, to his left is the guy, and it's Samuelson in front of the net is the guy he checks it to. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
All right.
Well, and we see a lot of the forwards that are coming up in Greenway's roster spot. So
Right.
would
Yeah.
you rather have one of the younger guys play or Greenway? And
But he's a fourth line guy.
he is a
So-
fourth line guy.
so-
But
so-
if you put a young guy,
This is fantasy GM.
don't
he's
ruin my
not a
fantasy,
fourth
Tim.
line guy.
Again,
He's a
That sounds
5.
creepy.
He's not a fourth. If he was a fourth line guy, he would have fought in the first game when he got challenged.
Smiled and skated away.
Right. He's a guy that wants to score goals.
Okay.
That plays on the fourth line.
All right, I have an X next to him. We'll see what happens when we're
What
done.
X to the moon or like
Whatever.
X that he's back?
to Toronto.
do you have a highlighter? Highlight that X.
Next player, Consta Hellenius or Helena.
He's gonna be
Helen use.
he's gonna be Thompson center next
Yeah,
year.
he needs to be a permanent
Yeah.
roster spot.
So
I liked how they brought us some fresh legs, and you could see the difference between fresh legs and not some fresh legs.
In center.
Okay, so everyone's in agreement with that. Tyson Kozak, stay in Rochester.
I think he's a good
What
player.
guy?
I think he's fine if he's your 13th.
Right. I want to see what happens with the rest. Yeah.
Okay,
I'd be more with him on the fourth line than I am with.
with who? Greenway?
Greenway.
I've had the Greenway experience.
He's your 13th.
Okay. Krebs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I like him to stay.
I mean, I could see a fourth line next year with
But-
Eric.
But how
How
much do you
Krebs.
pay at Krebs?
Is he not
I
locked
think
up?
I think Krebs.
He's RFA.
I think Krebs probably gets $3 million, and the reason I keep him,
$3 million?
I think he'd go 4 or 5.
well, either way,
I don't
I-
think he's getting 4 or 5.
He's making 2.9 right now.
I
He's
think
gonna go.
I'm sorry.
for-
Yeah, so he's
I would
he's
go
one
for it.
he's 1.45.
I think the
Huh? Right. So if you gave him 3, you're
doubling
doubling
his salary
Yeah.
And
in bump.
it'd be very hard for him to show that he's more than
I
that
think-
his salary.
I think the reason I keep him is he's another guy that could play anywhere across the lineup. He could play fourth line or he could play first line.
Yep. Okay.
And
Some
that's what's
positional versatility.
attractive to me with Krebs.
All right.
And I think he could penalty kill
Because-
for you
correct.
if you had to. He didn't this year because he was playing on the top
Because
line.
when you look at most of
Yeah.
these young guys, they can't go up and down the whole lineup. They're like top 6 or middle 6 guys. They're not fourth liners. Whereas
Yeah,
Krebs,
it's valid.
Krebs could start on the fourth line, and then if someone gets hurt,
But does that increase his value then? Where he wouldn't go
Krebs,
for less than
Eric,
4.
Mellon go. on the
No,
fourth
I-
line.
I think that you,
You
can
think
find that
3
guy
is
on
still-
any team. You know what I mean? Like you can find a Krebs
Mhm.
somewhere else if you had to. That's why I
Like
think he's.
trees.
Oh, let me put it to you this way: What did you sign? What did you sign Quinn to this year?
Hold on.
2 years, like 6.5. I want to say.
He got 6.5.
No, total like 3.25.
Average annual value 3.37.
I don't see Krebs getting more than
No.
Quinn.
He'll get less.
He'll get less.
He'll get
Keep Krebs.
Yes.
Keep him
if
you
he
can-
if
you
he
can
falls
get him
if
at
he
3,
falls
then
in the
I-
$3 million range. Yes,
Yes, I think he's gonna go for 4 or 5.
I don't
And I
think
think
he's
that's
getting
true.
he's an RFA. He doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Luxury.
that's true. That is the
Nope.
point. He can't.
He
bet
doesn't
his-
have that
he
luxury.
can't bet it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Okay, next name Kulik.
Keep that on the roster.
Is he the gentleman that they refer to in the press conference about some laser shot or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's
So-
like the
And
opposite of
what-
Thompson.
So,
Like
so
power play, you can put him on the opposite side of Thompson and have a bomb on the other side.
Kulik in my mind comes back to what are his medicals.
Yeah.
Well,
If,
I
if
think-
he's healthy, he's on this roster.
right.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, he probably would have had a huge impact this year
Yeah.
if he was healthy all year.
Okay, before we go further, a name just popped in my head. I would say that we're much better off with without JJ Peterka here.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
He was like Jeff Skinner in the making.
That trade is epic for us.
But even with
Goodbye.
Who do we get out of that?
well, don't,
Kessler-
and the kicker is you made the trade for Kesserling.
Right.
Right.
It's on our list.
Doan was the throw-in.
Don was a throwing, yeah.
I think let's go because I'm
Okay.
going to talk about Kess.
Okay. Next name, Malmstein. I
If
like
you
him.
can bring him back,
Yeah, I want him back.
Take him back.
I
He sounds like he wants to be back, so I think you can get him on a.
What's his situation?
He's a
he's pretty much
UFA.
UFA. Okay. All right.
Yes, I was just
Okay,
looking to
that's
see.
what
I
he
was
was-
just- he was making.
I should have sent you a copy of my list. You could have these guys down north.
Come on, Kyle.
All right. Back here. Ryan McLeod. Disappointing in the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expected.
He was solid. Yeah,
Right.
he was solid in the regular season, but yeah, very.
Oh,
disappointing.
you'd be okay if he was kicked to the curb?
I would only because you can't keep everybody. You know what I mean? And so I don't know.
I think you can. I don't think you have to move off
He
McLeod.
had the NHL leading or tied
For
most
shorthanded.
shorthanded goals.
Right. He's your number one penalty kill.
Okay.
Number one
All right.
Okay.
That's worth something. Yeah.
He's your number one penalty kill, and he's fast enough to play in your top six if you have to. To me, he's like a Krebs where you can move him
Right.
between all four lines. And when you put him down on the fourth line, those last two games, he played with those guys, and that line actually is the only line that got a goal.
Would you
Yeah.
have him on the fringe then? Like if you were tight on a player, you'd let him go, but if you had room for one, you'd keep him?
It falls in the same category. I want to see what happens with the rest
Okay.
of the roster.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll put a neutral mark.
He's one of those guys where if you can use him to package him with one or two other people
to upgrade.
to
your
upgrade.
roster.
Oh yeah.
you could use him as
To
a.
get Hellebuck.
But I think he's one that you're just kicking off the roster.
Norris. If he's healthy,
He's healthy. He's good, but
we got him for
that's-
too long, dude.
I think he
Ditch him, right?
Yeah.
I think he falls into the same boat as McLeod. If you can use him as an asset in a bigger trade for bigger fish,
Okay. Hash mark. Okay. No Oslo.
No,
he's got to be here.
Yep.
Don't even ask.
Get next. Tanner Pearson.
Is
Didn't see enough of him.
Is-
yeah,
is it-
yeah.
As a 13th or 14th forward, just to keep on your roster as a vet, he's okay. But if you want him in the lineup to play, no.
If he's in your lineup, you got other problems, right?
If he's in your lineup, it better be because there's 2 or 3 guys hurt.
Okay. Jack Quinn.
Pearson is a UFA, I believe. He just had a 1-year contract with us, so
Okay.
So Jack
So,
Quinn.
Jack.
So
Quinn.
if you would have asked me about Jack Quinn in March, I would have said get him the heck out of here.
Yeah. But then he had a good playoff.
And then
Yeah.
I fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone agree to that?
I do. I hear.
I liked him. I liked him more in the regular season. I didn't have the gripes everybody else had with him, so I thought he was good.
But you
So
yeah,
you're all
in the
true.
playoff though. You do well in the playoff.
Yeah, but I think he played. I think
Oh,
he
he-
played
no,
better than people are willing to give him in the regular season.
That's
He
not,
is.
yeah.
He's the Owen Power of the
The
forwards.
problem is
Yeah.
In Buffalo. I'm sorry, he is.
loves to hate.
Everybody love
Did
to
he have
hate
20
him,
Goals?
huh?
He had 20 goals in the regular season or no?
Yes, I believe so.
22, 23, something.
22 somewhere in
I-
there.
I think he deserves at least to see how he develops for another year.
Okay.
He came off of 2 bad injuries prior to that.
He was the Achilles guy, right?
Right.
Who's the
Nice,
next?
sorry.
Well, he came off a knee injury, and while he was rehabbing the knee injury,
Achilles.
with Achilles.
He did play all 82 this year though, so he was.
Oh,
he-
shit.
Right.
he
This was like his first year since
He played.
this
seven-
was his
seven-
first year healthy since when he came up with Paterka, and it was the kids line, and
Okay,
it was
good.
Cousins with him and Paterka.
Yeah, but he had 20 goals, 31 assists.
Okay. Hey, how did Cousins do this year? He did better this year than he did with us.
Statistically, I think he was.
Yeah,
better,
like,
yeah.
I still
goals.
think we probably won that trade.
I think that
Okay.
grade's a wash.
All right.
I
I
think
saved
slight,
They,
slight
they both fit a
advantage.
different profile.
the biggest two for last.
God.
TNT.
You find me a 40 goal scorer for 7 million somewhere else, and
Mhm.
then start talking to me about getting rid of him.
I feel like we need to move him to the wing though.
Well, they were
Yeah.
talking about that. Yeah, how he's a natural winger.
Like seven.
Okay. My personal favorite, because of his number, is Tuck. I can't believe he had 0 points in the Montreal series.
He didn't play terribly though. I think he
No.
led us in shots and
Yeah.
had block shots. I mean, another
like
where
shoot.
everybody wants to hate him.
Gloves a lot. He'd have a breakaway.
Well, he
hitting
has
glove.
Yeah, but
that or the bullseye that was 4 feet wide and high off the glass.
I love his play. Best two-way, you know.
Mm.
Okay, what would you sign him for? 8?
I say see you later.
It's not the amount on the top; it's the years.
right.
I
I'm with him. I like a 4-year contract.
want
but I don't think
3
he'll
to
sign
4
a
years.
contract. Yeah.
Okay, so right now,
I'd rather lock up some of these other guys.
okay,
I'm with you. I don't think that the Sabres. I don't. This isn't a 50-50 with. He's either going to have to eat a lot, I think, to want to stay in Buffalo, because Buffalo, I think, has shown with what they tried to do at the trade deadline, and the fact that they gave Doan the money that they gave at the time that they gave it, I think was he's your replacement. We'd rather invest in Doan than.
See, I think Benson's your Tuck replacement. I think Benson is
Right,
your
but
guy that fills the top.
I think Benson's the one that backfills Doan. Because I
So-
talked
so
about
Doan
this with my
takes
friend.
Doan,
Yes.
Benson takes Doan.
Yeah, as far as like when you're sit there and you're like, I don't want to take that, you're like, well, I got Doan. He'll fit that role. And I'm like, okay, then who fits Doan's role? Because you gotta start backfilling some of this stuff.
Is Doan going to be as good as Alex Tuck?
I think he's gonna
Is Doan as fast as Alex Tuck?
If he keeps
I think that's
projecting the way that he is, yes, I think he can be that same player. You never know. You're always taking a chance. There's guys that take the sophomore slump or however you want to say it.
So if Alex Tuck were to tell you, I will take a hometown discount because I want to see his team win, and he comes back for like 8 for 8. Anyone sign
No.
up for 8 for 8?
I'm
I'm
not
not going for
agreeing
8
anything
years.
more than 4.
So then you can just say he's probably done.
Honestly, I'd rather pay him $10 million a year for 4 years than pay him 8 a year for 8.
I like that.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
more on that too.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through and someone count on their hands how many this is based on our yes nos. Okay, Zucker yes, Benson yes, Carrick yes, Doan yes, Helenus yes,
Good job.
Kozak yes, Krebs yes, Kulik yes, Malenstein yes, Oslin yes, Quinn yes, Tage yes.
So yeah,
12.
12.
Well, remember, Kozak was your 13.
Right. So you've got Greenway gone. Now that's where you got your McLeod Norris on the fringe.
Mhm.
So one of those two.
No, both of those where you're getting a player in exchange.
They're-
They're
they're-
both on the
they're
roster.
roster.
You have to put both those on the roster, or
You have-
you're getting a player for them.
Okay.
They're not a like.
They're not.
They're not a just. They're not going to the moon with Gordon Greenway.
Okay. Tanner Pearson, no, and Tuck is probably gone. Okay. We'll go to defense. Bowen Byram, I don't even think we need to discuss that.
We gotta pay him.
Darlene, don't have to discuss that. Kesselring.
He's
Did he
gonna,
get a fair shake here, or
No.
injuries, or
I think injuries cost him, and Ruff didn't have enough confidence to
I think
put
he's,
him in the lineup.
I think he's gone.
I think he's
I think he's
gone. I think he's in the
he's the-
doghouse and might not get
I
himself
don't,
out.
but I also don't think. I think he doesn't want to be back either. I think he needs a fresh start.
Yeah.
I think he was personally hurt all year, and we never saw what he could be. And
Well,
honestly,
They released that he was hurt,
correct. He's gonna.
and that wasn't going to get healed until after the season.
Correct.
I wrote this guy's name down. I don't know if he played any NHL games this year. What about Ryan Johnson?
I don't see him coming up because of. I think you'd bring up somebody else from Rochester.
Problem is he's another guy that's out of waivers, so he's a trade bait.
Metza, yes.
Mhm.
Like he should be in your top 6, right?
Uh,
No,
keep going.
it was like plus 27.
Keep going.
I think he's your 7.
think he's.
Look, can you look that up for me? What his plus minus? was?
I
think he was
you
plus
can look it
27.
up, but I'm telling you, I think he's your
I
7.
think he's your 7.
Okay, Merca. Not ready yet.
I think he's in your top 6.
Over Metza because he's big.
Yes.
Is he physical?
So
And playing.
He was,
I think he will make enough jump to be able
but still,
I think he's one of those guys that may start at the beginning of the AHL playing in all situations, with the note of fact being that by the time we get to January, February, he's our trade deadline acquisition on the D.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put a slash there. Owen Power, yes. Samuelson, yes.
Yes.
He had a really good season this year.
Career.
Now that he got his head straight, right?
Well, he
Is
was
that what
healthy.
you're talking about? Yeah.
It's first year healthy for a whole year.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Timmins next.
Tell me what you're doing.
I
Like,
prefer
hold
keep-
on.
Can,
I-
can I be honest? I saw enough from Connor Timmins in the playoffs.
to know that you don't need it.
No,
I'm a bigger fan of Kessering than Timmins.
but
Oh,
I'd
it
keep
goes
Kessler.
back to role, and I guess it goes back to this whole piece. Like Timmins is your number one on the number one D, killing penalties, and then playing about 5 minutes at even strength. Liked it, but he's not going to play. He shouldn't be playing 15 minutes a game. So was that because of the way you ran the defense in the playoffs, where you rolled the top
Yeah.
4,
I don't think you
or
gotta
I guess he,
sticks through
I
the
guess,
season.
or is he
Is
one
he
of
your
those guys that you
7th or 8th?
keep? Is it him and Metza? Are they your two that flip flop
Is
back
he
and
your
forth in the
7th
lineup?
and 8th?
If you want the speed guy, you put Metza in. If you want the more physical guy, or if you playing Tampa, there's going to be a crap ton of penalties. You want Timmins in there? I don't know, but I mean, his contract's still cheap for one more year. It's like 2.1 million or something like that. So I
Ken,
think
sorry,
value wise,
Ken, why are you more of a Kessering over a Timmins?
I think Kessering has bigger upside, but I don't think Lindy trusts in him, so we won't see that. But I think if Kessering goes somewhere else, then he'll shine.
Okay,
So that's why I'd like to keep him. But
all right.
What is Kesselring? What is he?
he's an RFA.
He's an RFA.
Whereas I think Timmins has one more year, like 2.1.
Well, right now you guys only have a top 4 that you're 100% on.
But I mean, quite frankly, you could make a case for a bunch of these other guys that weren't in the top 4.
Okay,
It
well,
goes back to what's your identity and how
Yeah.
are you going to?
I think it pivots on what they do with Kesselring.
okay. Next man, Logan Stanley.
No,
yeah, I'm good to move on.
I say that they're going to keep him.
I also feel the same.
I think the question is what's the money?
Right.
He's
I just feel like you made the trade, you gave up assets.
What did they give up for him?
basically a 2nd-round pick. And Rosen or
Rosen, right?
But I think Rosen went because he too was out of waiver wires, and you're like, okay, we see Oslin, Helenis,
Helen.
all those whatever, all those guys ahead of him.
Last name, Shen.
Out.
No,
He
No.
bounced.
Why was he even here? That was a contract thing for them, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think he was like another coach.
Yeah, right. They wanted him for the.
He's the
experience
Hyde of the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
guy who's not supposed to play.
I think at the end of the day, him and Bryson were kind of a contract swap, and they said we would
Makes sense
rather
for him.
have Shen with the playoff experience in a pinch
Right.
rather than Bryson.
Okay, so you've got Byram, Darlene, Power, Samuelson. Those 4 are lock, and then after that, you kind of
It's a crapshoot.
a Meta, a Merca, maybe a Stanley, maybe a Timmins, or maybe a Kesselring.
I mean, you have 4 guys for 2 spots, which is what you ideally want for your bottom 6.
Well, Kessering wasn't super healthy, right? When he was here, he was
And I guess
most of the time.
And I guess that's the piece we don't know.
That's what you're gonna. I think that whole blue line hinges on what they feel about Kesselring.
He's been hurt all year. So I mean, the problem is we don't know how hurt.
Now Merca's a monster, right? He's like 6'6", 6'7", something.
Mirka's like
Big dude.
Zadorov, but with skill.
A right hand shot because all these other dudes
Yes.
are lefties.
Right hand shot.
Something else that you got to remember too, and I think someone mentioned this earlier today, is this is Yarmo's first full off season. And we're talking about all this stuff. Half these guys might be gone just because he doesn't want. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's not afraid to take chances.
Yeah, he might blow the whole roster up.
He's
Who knows?
he's going to take a swing on someone.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
Free
it's a
agency,
matter of
the draft is
No.
coming up, and I know we're not going to draft a player immediate impact, but you could be doing trades.
Martian was a 3rd round pick.
Well, But no, I mean someone who's going to come in and play this season. But there's trades that, I mean, the Ryan O'Reilly trade happened on a draft day, right? So Art, when we picked him up, so
I'll tell you this much: we're not picking in the first round.
I think we're trading it
That pick is gonna go
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's true.
like,
Yeah.
There you go.
Involved with
and
kid-
quite frankly,
With Jordan Greenway to the moon.
and quite frankly, he's gonna announce some sort of trade on draft day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, but we're not picking.
Is he gonna shoot for the moon every shot?
I think he's going back after Robert Thomas again.
Mm.
Would you want that? He's the Blues guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, didn't
Yep.
that just barely fall through? Like some little.
Is he good?
Yeah, but that was
He's-
didn't they want power in that?
So you heard some. We heard about Power. We heard about Norris. Did not wanting to move Norris. I don't know,
Mm.
but
What position is he?
he's a center.
Would he be your number one center?
26 years old. Yeah,
I think he'd be a more reliable 2.
Who would be your number one?
That's the question.
Your number 1 center is going to play with Tage on the side, and you don't need him to be a true number 1.
But who is that? That's why I'm saying I would put him in this.
Flynn or Kulik or Helenus.
Okay.
one
One of the 3. One of the 3. Whatever 3 are running the best. I'm fine with all 3.
Okay, so goalies we talked about a little bit. UPL, Lyon, Ellis, Levi. You said Levi's probably gone. He gone?
Levi,
Maybe.
Levi's going to be really hard because the only way you can do Levi is if you move on from UPL and you make Levi your third
Well,
goalie next year.
I think it's a debate between Levi or Ellis. One of them would be your third goalie. One of them's got to go.
Who makes more sense to keep? Ellis?
Probably Ellis.
They went out and got Ellis and picked him up on waivers, like Lindy right?
Yeah,
Lindy wanted
and they kept
right?
him on the roster as their third guy. So I would think Levi
So it was kind of like that was like the first he's not my guy, Kevin Adams player on the trade.
Did you guys listen to any press conferences where they were actually giving Kevin Adams some praise and Kevin Adams finally came out and spoke and all that stuff?
No.
All right. So UPL probably keep Lyon. Okay.
one of those goalies would be gone, and someone else would be in.
I just get the feeling they're gonna roll all 3.
I guess we'll see.
What do you guys think of the other series so far?
Which one?
Well, Montreal, Carolina. I was.
I think it starts tonight.
Agreed.
Carolina was off for like 12.
Well, that's what I was
days.
saying.
They almost had too long.
Carolina, they sat around too long, and Montreal came in kind of fresh because they just played, and Carolina waited like 10 days.
It's
Yeah.
like when you see the number 1 seed in the NFL where they've had the bye week,
Yeah.
and then they had it locked up, and so they didn't really play week 17. Then they have the bye week, and they kind of get punched in the mouth the first quarter. Then they wake up.
Are you more surprised that Vegas is up 2-0?
I'm
Mhm.
very surprised about that.
Yeah, me too.
Makar factor yesterday.
Did he not play again?
Yeah,
Nope.
didn't play again.
So he missed the first both games, right?
Correct. It's the Makar factor.
Dude, what happened to him if they had all that rest, and then now he's still not playing? What's going on with him?
He said what, upper body?
Probably.
Put it-
Concussion. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
He was firing shots though off too when they're showing him, so it's not like
He got hit pretty good.
But he can do that with concussion with protocol,
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why it goes more to
He got hit pretty good the last game of the Minnesota series
oh yeah.
by Hartman.
Ken,
So,
Yes, sir.
from that beautiful list of topics and notes that you had showed me, a lot of homework this guy did for his debut.
That was
Like Sean's getting fired.
what's the last?
Sean is,
Well, we gotta wait a minute. Sean's not fired until we see him eat Taco Bell.
Yeah,
wow, I can't.
he
believe
does
you
own
said that.
Taco Bell.
So Ken, what have you?
Once he gets done with all his Taco Bell, then
What have we not touched upon on that list? Because I don't want all the effort going to waste.
Oh, you're fine.
What's on that list that you want to talk about, or other things from the league this year, or things from the Sabres that are?
One of the only that we haven't touched on, the playoff ticket pricing and sales really bothered me, the whole process, because I think obviously Terry doesn't like to lose money, and after the first round he put the tickets up. I think they were like $150 general public, and then people were reselling them for 400, and so the resellers are making more than Terry. He didn't like that, so he jacked the
So-
prices up to $300 to general public, which was
Jesus.
way too much for
250.
second round.
They were 250.
I think it was just a big mess, and I mean, you could go into the well, don't tell the Montreal fans and this and that, but
That
that's
pisses me off,
that's
too.
always going to happen. It's always going to,
So
especially when you put them on sale to the general public,
But-
because there's people that just want to make a couple of bucks and
Yeah.
they'll go in and
Montreal fans don't do that unless they're selling to other Montreal fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Montreal's a different.
Dude,
Montreal,
it's crazy.
right, but they're also on a huge wait list, and they have
yeah,
double the population that we have, and
That's
it's
a
the
good point.
only major sports
Mhm.
team in Montreal.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of things, and your resale goes through the team,
Sure.
doesn't go through just straight out.
Yeah. I'm
Home with Tom Brady.
Um,
You
so-
know they drafted him, right?
They
The Montreal Expos drafted Tom Brady. Yeah.
So this year was very unique. You had a whole bunch of people who signed up for season tickets for next year who got availability to become
Oh,
Playoff
I had
eligible.
badge this year, so
Oh, did you? Oh,
I had pre-sale this year because that's why I said they were 250 because
Oh.
I got pre-sale the other round.
yeah,
paid
yeah,
for two.
yeah.
So you had some people. I know the person I had him a couple years ago, full seasons. We dropped just because my schedule is crazy. I can't go to games that much. He got back in for next year.
Hmm.
The guy that I had split my full seasons with, so he had tickets. He had his seats for this year.
Yeah,
Got to watch.
I was able to go to one game in the Montreal series, and my buddy who took 6 of us total, his family and myself. $6,000 we spent.
Yeah. It's
Now,
not,
we sat in the 200s, we sat in good seats and all that, but $6,000 for one freaking game.
well, and they with the pricing that is a general public. They did treat the season ticket holders well. My daughter's a season ticket holder,
So is he.
and you know, she got, I think it was like 47 for the regular season, and playoffs first round I think were 70, and then 84 for the second
So-
round or something like that. So it was much more affordable for the season ticket holders, which it should be.
So,
But my problem was with
He
the
had
general
2 though.
public sales.
He
yeah.
bought 6, but he had 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so to put that into perspective, so my seats were $88 for the Montreal series. I got 2 seats the same row the other end, pre-sale before they went to tell general public. They were $575 for a service seats.
Crazy.
So mine were $88. 12 seats over farther on the other side when they want to tell about the general pre-sale was $575.
Yeah, it just got
Is
nuts.
that
It got nuts.
were you in the lower bowl?
No,
Three-
all the way up in the 300s.
300s?
Like third last row from the top, man.
$1,000 to see a game.
Well, no, it was $575 for the pair.
Oh, sorry.
So,
yeah.
Still.
So you,
so I paid 176.
Well, that's- like I said, 'cause
I have one
Cause-
guy that has 200s
Mhm.
that I'm friends with. He said
stay
when he looked for
It was
when he looked for resale for like the season tickets before they go out to the general public, he said and noted that the lower bowl was more expensive than it was to buy in 200s.
Crazy.
Like they were specifically, I think, at least the look was if we are going to give them to Montreal,
make them pay.
well, no, get them
Don't
up and
say-
out of,
Oh, I see.
you know what I mean,
see.
out of the lower
I
rim
see what
that
you're
you sit
saying.
there and see.
Okay.
I will
Like
tell
if you have a Montreal fan, he's up in 300, then you don't see
It's
that.
less
on
visible.
TV. It's less visible.
I'm here to tell you that did not happen. The lower bowl was packed with red.
Listen, I looked for game 1 on game day specifically just to see what tickets were because everybody said it was a Wednesday, and actually Wednesday game 1 was cheaper than game 2 to get into because it was a Friday night game 2. For
That was a rough night.
but I specifically saw where there were 2 Montreal fans sitting in seats, and I'm like, those seats were $1,500 a piece on the glass.
But they can't get tickets in Montreal, so they'll pay here to watch
Mm-hmm.
them play.
So I'm like, they're watching that game for $3,000, and I know they're at least watching it because I could have bought it for that. So, and that was day of
Yeah.
that Wednesday.
Yeah, it was
So it
just-
wasn't
it
a
was just-
pre-sale, it wasn't anything else. It's that. I
Mhm.
just Buffalo's. You have a large population of Buffalo season ticket holders that are from Southern Ontario.
Mhm.
You're always going to have this kind of issue. You have people that go to hockey games like it's Shays going to see us.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They're kind of a Sabres fan, but they're really just more of a hockey fan.
Yeah, or they're just there because of what's happening. You know, they want to be part of the event, and they don't.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So you're gonna have those guys, and how can you sit there and tell somebody from Southern Ontario who isn't true that has season tickets you can't sell them?
Right.
And you just spent. Trust me, when I had my season tickets, I couldn't give them to anybody.
Yeah. That's
Like,
been like that.
so you're sitting there and you're telling for how many years you've
Yeah.
had Sabres season ticket holders that they couldn't give their tickets away at all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we're gonna beat them up, and you talk about the Bills for their opening season in the stadium and see what their ticket prices are right now.
Mhm.
The NFL, the NFL gives what 3,000 tickets for every game to the opposing
Right.
team.
That's
So there's always NFL fans from another city in all of it. So like you never really have they take over because they always have tickets. There's always a block of tickets for every NFL game.
I didn't know that. Ken, how was your canal side experience?
I went to 2 at Canal Side, the very first game of the playoffs. My son and I stood in line for smash burgers for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
Granted, the screens were decent enough that you could see, but that was really rough. I went for game 7 with my other son, and they had more food trucks, which was smart. A lot more populated because game 1 was 45 degrees and game 7 was 75 degrees. So it was packed for game 7, but it made it fun. I mean, so it wasn't terrible. I thought they did a nice job of keeping it somewhat orderly, but and there's only so much you can do when that many people are there. So, so I thought it was good.
I want to touch on one other thing too, and I do have to go, unfortunately, but those swords, the beer swords, whatever. The game that I went to, the kid I was with, I think he was 21, but the kid I was with was all excited because he had a beer saber that he spent like $100 on eBay. And the just a couple games later, they had 10,000 of them again. So I sent it to him. He's like, I can't.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're eventually, Kyle and I have been texting about it too. They're eventually going to catch up on the supply and demand of the beer savers. So unless you really need to have it, just wait. It's a moneymaker.
It'll be there.
So Jeremy Jacobs of Delaware North and Terry Pagula know how to make money
on the saber.
They know how to make money. So
He wins either way.
the beer saber is going to be back in stock.
Yeah.
So unless you're one of those people that need the latest and greatest.
Did you see Carolina came out with their boot skate or something that you could use?
I did see the Stanley Cup though. Did you see that? That was really cool.
No.
So I don't remember where it was. I could probably find it, but one of the stadiums was selling a Stanley Cup. There was a plastic beer mug. I'm like, that's cool as hell. I want that.
There's one on Amazon. It's a glass Stanley Cup, but I guess the company had gotten sued by the NHL a few years ago. So apparently some type of copyright infringement when you make it. But
okay, so how many games did you actually go in and watch?
The playoffs or overall?
Playoffs.
Playoffs 3, I believe.
And
4, maybe 4. Probably
a ton of Canadian fans in them.
Yeah, they were decent amount. Not as many as the regular season. Like regular season, there'd be, especially the lower bowl, like half of the lower bowl would be Canadians fans. So it was less for the playoff.
So when you were talking about like just standard hockey fans coming down from Canada, do you think they're all just coming in Canadians sweaters? Just because they're Canadian?
Well,
as opposed to wearing a Sabres.
So here's my thought on that though. If you own Sabres season tickets, aren't you a little bit of a fan? You're not gonna buy season tickets to go to,
You're not an NHL fan.
You know what I mean? So I would hope so. However, I think some of those people are probably the ones making bank.
Yeah.
Selling them in Canada to
other Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You may have family or friends that are Habs fans and say, "Can I have your tickets?" And
Are you slightly disappointed with fellow season ticket holders that might be Buffalo Sabre fans? Where, I mean, like we haven't had a playoff game here in a long time, and then you're gonna go and
see. I see two schools.
Montreal fans take over the lower bowl. Like you watch those games in Montreal, and it's. What did they catch? 2 Sabre fans out of the whole place, and almost 21,000.
But here's my look on it. You can look at it from both sides, right? You should be keeping those tickets. You're finally there. Go enjoy it. But on the other hand, who knows how long these people have been pumping money into season tickets, and they finally have an opportunity to cash in a little bit. Why not? I mean, so just thoughts.
Currently unavailable. That's sweet. That is sweet.
Kyle, I do have to go.
No, that's fine.
Yep.
4 minutes. Probably started a wet Saturday here.
There you
Memorial weekend.
There you go. I will see you next time with my lazy Susan.
Hey, we'll start there first. You know what I mean? And I'll upgrade that tripod that Sean broke.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. I thought this was fun how we could do a Sabre only recap of kind of the season. And again, they were Atlantic Division champions, December 9th, last place to winning the division. So quite a turnaround. It was a lot of fun watching them this
Sure
year.
was.
Yeah, a lot more
You know,
attention.
Disappointed that they couldn't move on to the next round. Do you think? Now I know we said that if they play their game, they could beat anyone. But was there a little part of you that's like, Carolina's tough?
Yeah. Oh, I did. I said we were gonna get crushed by Carolina. I said that. I believed it, but what's the difference now? Now, who knows with the way Montreal played?
I think Montreal's toast too. And I figured Carolina would come in with the hangover.
Well, it sucks is for Montreal or Buffalo. Those two teams played the most playoff games going into
100%.
the conference final, right?
Like Carolina played 8,
and so did Colorado.
Colorado played 9. Colorado played 9. They lost 1. Yep. Crazy.
I would love for the Sabres to get a player of equal caliber as like a Kaprizov. Like just one of those, or a McKinnon, like an absolute freak stud.
I mean, I would take McKinnon. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, guys, take care. I'll see you next time.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there room on this roster with cap and going up where they could get a super stud here for a 2-year rental kind of a thing, where you're shooting for the cup or nothing, like with the Bills, right? All or nothing when you have Josh still.
I think you got to give away half your team to do that.
Yeah.
Right, and it's not worth it when you got this kind of close. Right? Do you think like if we just had a solid goaltender,
That changes a lot. Yeah, it's like
I mean,
like quarterback in football.
Well, I mean, like
You
I
hit a
said,
superstar, it changes everything.
Montreal outscored us 27-23. Let's see how many won-loss game. 4-2, no. 5-1, no. 6-2. Okay, we won that game. 6-3. I mean, really, it came down to the last game, Game 7, 3-2. That was the only one goal game.
It was more. I don't really. Goalie became the story of the Montreal series, but they lost it not by goaltending.
I agree with that.
They lost the last game because of one shot, but even down to that,
Well,
you had how many opportunities to put that game away?
Right.
The game where they scored 3 goals in Game 5, where they just stopped and Montreal took over. It was the game turned on Tage's breakaway where he got Dobish stopped them, and then they just came down and just kept.
Well, if you look here, they won Game 1 4-2. Then you get crushed 5-1, and then you lose 6-2. I mean, if one of those 2 games doesn't happen, right, could be a difference. Then you come back, you win by 1 goal, 3-2. Then you get 6-3. Like that's
big swings.
Were you surprised that the games were that? I mean, that 8-3 game was a little bit of a misnomer, right? I mean, otherwise Montreal kind of gave it to us. 5-1, 6-2, 6-3. We beat them 3-2, 4-2, and one of those is at least an empty netter, right? The first game was 3-2, and then was Game 4 3-2? Is that an empty netter? Probably no. Be 4. Yeah, not. I don't know. Montreal's good. They're quick.
And they're young, which means we haven't seen the last of them. I think this is going to be seriously like over the next decade. I could see us playing them 8 times in the playoffs, so it'd be interesting. And it's fun too because I mean the teams are evenly matched in the regular season and obviously evenly matched in the playoffs for the most part. You don't go to overtime in Game 7 without.
Well, in those 3 games, the 5-1 loss, the 6-2 loss, the 6-3 loss, were those games where defense was hanging out their goalie to dry in those games?
A mix of both. That's some of the inconsistencies with the goal.
Well, the 6-3 loss, you were up 3-1.
And then you just stop pressing.
We would have been.
Well, you had a chance.
Thompson.
It's the Thompson going in on the breakaway. He scores and makes that. That game's.
They would pull Dobish. Yeah.
That game goes the other way.
You'd have been up 3-2 in the series. And then if you would have had the same game, you could have edited it in 6.
That's why I don't think the Sabres, they should have won it in 6. I think you could have played differently in one of the other 2 games. They didn't come and play their game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the story in Buffalo was your top line was your worst line.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
for a while, I think they didn't play well. Really, they didn't play their game until they split up Thompson and Tuck in game 6.
Yeah. Are you guys superstitious when you watch hockey games? Because if you're
yeah.
in our chat group, people are telling me, he left already, told me not to watch the games because I'd walk out of the room and they would score. I'd walk back in the room and they'd let one in or whatever. And my wife says, you're nuts to think that what you do single-handedly affects what happens in a game. But
To steal the Josh Allen quote, who stole the Michael Scott quote, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So I will not say, and I will not go to the point of that extent of not watching a game, but yeah, I will say that I was 1-3 in the games I went to in the playoffs, and I did sit in a separate section for that one win, and that crossed my mind thinking, boy, maybe I should have moved sections. So, but yeah, but obviously, it's if the team plays differently, it's a big story, and that's something we didn't really even get into is how phenomenal we played on the road, and what were we 2-5 at home
yeah,
in the playoffs? I mean,
yeah.
you got to be better than 2-5 at home in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, so is Montreal.
Yeah, right, valid, yeah.
Because game 6, I watched the first period. We were down 2-0.
Mhm.
I go outside into the garage, do some stuff, and I came back in, and I think we were up 4-3. And as soon as I walked into the room and peripheral caught the TV, we scored the 5th goal. I'm like, oh shit, it is true. So then I go into the back room of the house and I'm doing stuff on the computer, avoiding the rest of the second period. And then I come in for the start of the third period and they end up winning that game 8-3. So it's like, I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
So
Yeah.
we had my sister-in-law is for both teams when she's over.
Both
the
teams.
Bills. Yeah, Bills.
Oh.
They're every terrible Bills loss that have ever happened in the last like 5 years.
She's at our house.
He's at our house. 4.
You tell her you're not coming over for Bill games?
So the 8-3 game, we had a party for my son, and then we go across the street and we have a huge projector screen, 16 feet projector screen. Yes, watch it outside. My sister-in-law's over watching it. It's 3-1, and she goes, "Okay, I'm leaving." I don't think she was out of our neighborhood when we got the 4-minute power play and the goal scored. And then they come back and score 7 unanswered. And we're like, yep. So
it's just funny how that shit works sometimes.
And then we were watching it outside again because every time we had watched it on the screen, that was their only loss was game 7. And we blame my wife because she didn't watch any of the games. She stayed at our house, walked over, and they scored.
Oh.
So
yeah, it's tough.
Yes, I am the whole the superstitious.
Okay.
I don't take the full on. I can't handle it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I and it happened a couple times, everyone in the chat, I'm just done telling people what I'm doing during the game. I don't want that.
You just keep it to yourself, and yeah.
Yeah, it happened in the Boston series too. I almost wish Sean came over today. We could have gave him some shit, but he took it rough. We love you, Sean, but for you to exit the chat group for weeks to reflect and regroup. I mean, hey, to each their own, but
life of a brew.
To be fair, if I had a Canadians person in our chat group right now, I'd probably be out for weeks.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was disappointed, and especially a goal where should have been saved. I was listening or who was it? Oh, I forgot to bring this up while we had everyone here. The ESPN TNT is terrible. And I know you, Joe, said that you had muted it several times because you couldn't listen to those idiots.
Yeah. I watched the entire game. Let's see, which one was it? We won it. So
was it the game where they were talking about Darlene Rio or something?
Yeah, the 3-2 game. That Tuesday game was an ESPN game. Game 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because TNT had the first two, and then ESPN had game 3 and 4. That second game, that game 4 game, I listened to the first period, and then PK Subban came on and got halfway through a sentence, and I knew where it was going to go because it was the Thompson penalty at the end, which was the
That-
cheap,
The
kind of cross check
Mhm.
that was nothing
and the,
when
The guy dove.
yeah, Cooley
well, yeah, he dove for the second time because he
Mhm.
dove on Darlene on the power play that took the power play away from us
Mhm.
too. And he comes on and he got about halfway through the sentence. I knew where it was going and I hit mute. And I'm like, I can't sit here for 18 minutes and listen to them just Messier and Subban just talk nonsense after listening to the broadcast.
Mhm.
So I didn't actually hear the whole like he's cutting his lip to open it up again and for all of that because it came back on and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch 2 periods without listening to anything, which was very awkward to do with myself, my son, and my wife watching the TV
It's silence.
in silence.
Huh.
I'm like, I'm not putting it back on. I'm like, I'm waiting for one of the two of them to be like, "Are you gonna put it on?" I'm like, nope,
Nope.
not gonna put it on. Like, I'm done listening to. And Patrick was, my son was over himself, like getting himself really in trouble from screaming at them on the screen and everything. That's part of the reason why I did it. I'm like, all right, we got to take the distraction away so kid doesn't get kicked out of the house tonight by my wife. So,
I don't want to be like a homer, but like listening to Rob Ray and
Dan Dunleavy.
like I know we're gonna be Buffalo homers about them, but like they actually do a really nice job.
Mhm.
They're Buffalo guys, but they do call the game pretty down the middle. You know what I mean? Other than Rob Ray has his.
I mean, Rob Ray says this. He has this saying.
He
He is, but it's a Buffalo broadcast. My beef with the ESPN broadcast is it's the American national feed.
Right.
It's the US feed.
Yeah.
And you had people turning to Canadian national feeds because it was more.
Oh, I should have done that. I didn't listen
Yeah.
to CBC at all.
CBC was more even keeled than what
Mm.
Ferraro and McDonough were.
Yeah.
Like it was terrible.
Oh yeah.
It was terrible. Whether they wanted to admit it or not. I mean, all the way down. And I get like Subban's I don't even he was the Montreal Canadiens captain.
Right.
I understand what that is. But as a network, then you got to realize, like, okay, maybe he shouldn't be the face of what we go to every single time. And maybe like, hey, like I think in game 6, when it did go outside and they stuck him outside, that's fine. Like, let him do the party in the plaza thing. You go to him for a couple minutes and then get out of him.
Is he the
You know.
Cam Newton of the NHL? Or Clinton Portis of the NHL? How would you compare that guy? He's all about his spit.
Yeah, I mean,
His drip.
yeah, I would say it's a fair comparison. Yeah.
Who has some crazy takes.
Yeah.
Not as crazy as Cam Newton. Cam Newton says some dumb shit.
Right.
Real dumb shit.
I think it was poorly done by ESPN.
Hmm.
You can create you can see optics, and when you had people from outside of the Buffalo market commenting on it, like it wasn't just people in the Buffalo marketing saying like what's going on.
Right.
You had like there were people from like Tampa series they were watching, like what is this?
Yeah.
Like in other series.
Well, and even just the play-by-play, like we kind of got spoiled between RJ and Darling and now Dan Dunleavy, who I think does a fantastic job. But the play-by-play, I think, is intended to call the plays-by-play and not just have random conversation while somebody's skating up the ice. It's like,
Yeah.
like do your job.
Well,
Like
it wasn't random. It was glossing the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, I'm
like,
right, but
it's not even like
right. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's even worse because it was just random stories of what the Canadians
Yeah,
are doing.
right.
I'm like, okay, cool. Give me fine. You want to do a random story about the Canadians? Then give me a
Balance it.
random like Buffalo Sabres
Mhm.
like story. Like if you don't want to call it play by play and do that, there is one way of doing that, but you do it for both sides.
Yeah.
They did not.
Right.
It was worse than Collinsworth with. It really was. There were a lot of like I saw one meme of Collinsworth and Ray Ferraro like making out with like just sucking face with
See,
each
sometimes-
other with
sometimes
one
AI
hand
is
like
good.
one had Mahomes behind him and the other one was like Dovish or something on the other side.
Okay, give me last words on your thoughts of past, present, future for both of you, and then we'll end it.
I think I mean, up until December, I was one of the it's the same old, same old.
Yeah.
I had seen it for a while. Paterka trade I wasn't really overly thrilled with that trade. When it happened, I think you got Kesselring for it. He didn't really pan out. And if he leaves after that, you kind of got lucky that you got done in that, is kind of how I still look at that. Paterka scored 30 goals. I know that he got put on the fourth line for that series, their last one, but I think he's still a goal scorer. I had just like, where are you getting all these goals from? Where are you getting guys that are scoring? But most of my frustration with the Sabres up until this point was play the young kids. Why are we keep bringing in, that's part of my Greenway to the moon kind of attitude, is more of,
Sure.
I don't need to see Jordan Greenway out there. Give one of the kids some ice time and
little energy.
a little energy. Let them get there and go with it. Like, so it was nice to see them turn it around. They definitely had to play a different, more disciplined style. So it was nice that Lindy did do it. I do think that Yarmo becoming the GM was a huge catalyst of that. I know people are like, how could that possibly be? But it's my adage of, if you work with a guy, there's a guy above you that's terrible and you know you're better than him, you know that guy's got to go first before I go. And I think all the players ultimately knew that guy's still there, I'm still safe. And once that guy goes, you now are like, oh crap, I might be the next guy on the block.
Yeah, everybody elevates. Yeah.
So that's where you got some of that kind of consistency. I think the Sabres did a good job of downplaying that. I don't think you want to lead with that for how long. And yes, he made some decent trades and got some talent in, but they got talent in because they've sucked for so long. You're gonna get talent. You're gonna get top line prospects when you're drafting in the top 10 for how long? You're just gonna have these players. Like, that's the nature of the beast. I think they're at a spot where I do think Yarmo will probably make a bigger move. I'm torn on that because I do have a little bit more faith in like some of the younger guys, like those three. I know Kulik's coming off of something, so that could be, he's probably my one wild card, but I think Oslin